and I got a chance to sit in on a what is it? Hey Johnny, to sit in on a webinar yesterday with Grant Cardone. Do y'all know who that is? Do y'all know who Grant Cardone is?
Yes, I know who that is.
If you don't, you should. Because the thing that he said yesterday that totally blew my mind, he said, I know you tired. I know you can't figure all this stuff out. You need help. You need to go ahead and pay for your help. You invested in all this other stuff that you need to invest in your house, in your own, in your business, in your stuff. How do people get to see you? How do people get to know you? The one thing that entrepreneurs don't put enough money in is marketing, marketing, marketing. And I said, ooh. Why he saying these words at me? See, be careful what you ask God for because I asked God for a whole lot of stuff. And I said, how am I going to get to $11 million? How am I going to get to become a millionaire next year? And then as I was minding my own business on social media, they showed Grant Cardone dropped in the middle of nowhere with $100 and no money. $100, no phone, no internet, no following, and a whole fictitious name. And in 90 days, he made $5 million. And the question was, how did you do that? He said, marketing, marketing. So, needless to say, I'm blown away by what I learned on that. And the other thing, the point was, he said you have to have what I call omnificent presence. What is omnificent presence? He said you got to be everywhere. You got to be everywhere. Every time somebody turn around, they got to see you. That's how you become. That's how people get to know you. That's how you scale. And he said, get as many social media platforms as you can under your belt so that they see you. But we are intentional about what we do because we're going to be on the biggest one, and that is LinkedIn. And that's on Mary Lynn Had a Little Lamb and how my granddaughter say, period, boo. We doing that. We doing that. We doing that. So let me read our stuff real quick so I can turn it over. Cause I'm trying to be omnificent. I'm trying to have an omnificent presence. Be everywhere you want to be. So I pulled our cards. Our card says, I am beautiful and everybody loves me. I am beautiful and everybody loves me. It says, I radiate acceptance and I am deeply loved by others. Love surrounds me and protects me. I slowly breathe in and out and I find myself relaxing more and more with each breath. I relax all my neck muscles and I let go of any tension in my shoulders. Breathe, breathe, and breathe. In our 5 minutes of gratitude, it says, love those who appreciate you and appreciate those who love you. Connor Chalfant. The best moment of today. A privilege I had that until now I've taken for granted. A breakdown that led me to a breakthrough. A second chance I've been given. My trust in myself and in life is constantly increasing. Everything is as it should be. Everything is as it should be. And the last thing, a deep breath of life, daily inspiration for heart centered living for October the 31st. And it starts with the words out of the closet. Ooh, who in the closet? Who need to get out? Somebody in the closet? It says, you must look upon your illusions and not keep them hidden. Illusions have no place where love abides, protecting you from everything that is not true. A Course in Miracles. It says, in our fascination with the monsters of Halloween, we forget that the holiday began as a celebration of purification. Halloween is short for Hallows, Holy Evening, the night that precedes November 1st, All Saints' Day. The Lord tells that the presence of great spiritual light on All Saints' Day calls forth all the unhealed spirits so they can be blessed and released. The process is similar to cleaning laundry in a washing machine. When the soap and water touch the garments, the grime is loosened and it rises to the surface. To look into the washing machine during the agitation cycle, you would be repulsed and think that the clothes are getting dirtier, but they are actually getting cleaner. The muck must be extracted before it can be discarded. While our culture has forgotten the spiritual origin of Halloween, you can make use of it. Are there any monsters lurking in the closet of your consciousness? Are you carrying any hidden fears, resentments, or grotesque memories that stalk you in the night? Are you annoyed by any emotional goblins that undermine your relationships? If so, open the door and let them fly away. Call forth the energy of love and healing and ask God to free you from anything that stands between you and your good. Monsters are dangerous only when we run from them. No boogeyman has any power over us unless we feed it with fear and denial. Face your demons, and you will see they are illusions. Shine the light of truth on your basement, and you will have the whole new room to play in. Shine the light of truth in your basement, and you'll have a whole new room to play in. Give me the courage to move beyond my fears and be free. I release the darkness to make the way for the light. That's so good. I know people still scared of basements. I ain't going down there. I ain't going down there. Child, I went down my basement, put down 14,000 lights and painted the walls white and hung up some drapes on the ceiling and painted the floor in the corners and threw a grass rug down there and I was in the basement. My North Philly basement. Them basements is not a Georgia basement. They not certain basements are no longer basements when they got kitchens and extra bedrooms and bathrooms. That becomes the lower level. The lower level. Now houses that I go to have a lower level. They no longer are basements. But when I had the basement, I absolutely turned on the light and let everything out and gave myself a whole new room to not only play in but to work in. And me and my girlfriends played and worked in my basement in North Philly. So I'm so grateful and excited. I got my notepad out. We going do the thing. If anybody has anything they want to add before I turn this time over to the incomparable, amazing, number one best-selling author, Dr. Tawana Ross. Ba, 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 ba. Let me make you the co-host. Hold on. I'm so grateful and excited. Do y'all know how blessed we are?
We are blessed.
And highly, highly favored. Let me get my notepads out because I got things to do.
Shout out to Dr. Darlaina coming over to Team Mohawk today, y'all.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
Yes, I
Yeah.
am not mad at the hawk.
You're not mad. You're not mad. You're not mad. You
That is
know,
super cute. I love it.
tomorrow is the gala, so this is my pre-gala hair.
Oh,
There's still more that is happening.
oh, I
It's,
can't wait to see pictures.
oh, honey, it's a situation.
Yes, I love it.
Thank you.
Great day, everybody. Great to see y'all back. I see a few new faces. Uh,
Oh,
so
let me do it. Hold on.
welcome. Thank you, thank you. And for those of you that are new, welcome. We used to be the $10 million club.
Yes.
We used to be, okay? So to catch you up, if you're new,
Yes.
it took us all of 1 week to discover that we are no longer the $10 million club. We are now the $11 million club. Okay.
Don't you just
Uh,
love when your teacher is keeping track and tracking on what the group is doing and pivots with the group and comes up with the group to remind the group that you said that you're gonna be in 11
you
million
said
dollar
it,
club. You said
right?
it. Okay, yep. We
You said it. We all agreed. Like we agreed.
said
There was no dissent that day. So we all agreed. We all made it here. And for those of you that are new, yes, I'm Dr. T, Dr. Tawana, whichever floats your boat, I will answer to. I'm extremely grateful to be here with you because, yes, Grant Cardone is correct. Marketing matters. That is true. Your presence on social media platforms does matter. It does. I have just discovered in my experience and in the experience of my clients that you can be much more strategic and have greater results if you invest your time and energy into your presence on LinkedIn. So we're going to be here for another 10 weeks after today. And specifically, we're working on how to elevate your profile so that your profile really is a brand tool. Okay, so yes, I'm slightly biased, given that my coaching certifications are in business coaching as well as brand coaching and life coaching. So yeah, I'm coming from the brand perspective, the business perspective, because I'm interested in all of you uh, elevating to the point where you don't need to spread yourself over all of the platforms. And that's simply because when you see the results that LinkedIn brings to you, you see a shift in how you operate, whether that is you are looking for a new job, you're looking for new clients for your business, whatever it is that you have as a goal. So when you come here with me on Fridays, we have a standard agenda, if you will. So we're going to spend uh, a little bit of time on a lesson every week after you set your goal for the week. And I'll come back to that one in a moment for the new folks. And the last part of our time together will be an open forum where you're invited to receive life coaching and you're invited to share any of your aha moments before you get your homework and we leave for the day. So let's pause for a moment before I jump into the lesson. And you have your notebooks. This is the time for you to set your goal for this week. Okay, so those of you that are new, when you see this particular item of setting your goal, please be careful here. I don't want you to set a goal for your overall LinkedIn life. I want you to set a goal for this week. Okay, we're going to be meeting on Fridays. So the goals that you set when you're here with me on Fridays are the goals and the commitments that you're making for the next week. Okay, so your goal is not going to be something like, I want to get my LinkedIn life together. Okay, that's not going to happen this week, right? What is going to happen is the realistic, feasible goal that you set for yourself that you know based on your bandwidth that you can actually achieve this goal between now and next Friday. Okay, so take a moment and jot down your goal for this next week so that you can hold yourself accountable. Now, last week's homework, I'm catching up the new folks right here. Last week we had two things that we had as action items. One is to go to your SSI, your social selling index. So if you're joining us for the first time right now, screenshot or jot down this URL. But I want you to go to this URL right now. If you're on your browser, go ahead and type that URL in. And as soon as you get to this page, folks, I need you to bookmark this page because you're going to come back to this page often. Okay. But I need you to actually screenshot it today. And the reason I need you to screenshot this is because this is going to serve as your before picture. so that after 12 weeks, you screenshot again, you'll see your after picture. You will see the scores, your SSI, elevating between now and 12 weeks from now, and of course, ongoing. But I need you to capture this page, screenshot it, and bookmark it so that you know where you're starting and you can compare that once you've invested some time into elevating your presence here on LinkedIn. The other thing that we worked on this past week was creating your headline verbiage on your profile. So as a reminder, and for those of you that are new, your headline is this content here that's below your name. Okay. Let me pause for a pop quiz right here. Pop quiz for those of you that were here with us last week. Pop quiz. How many characters worth of real estate do you have for your headline? Somebody put that in the chat or come off mute. How many characters do you have for your headline? Pop quiz. Okay, all right. I see 220, 240, 250. I'll give you a big hint. One of those answers is correct. One of those answers is correct. All right, two people got it in their notes. It's 220. 220, okay? Put that in your notes. If you're still editing your headline, you've got 220 characters worth of real estate. And I'm gonna beg you on this. You're gonna edit this in a Word document so that within your Word document, you can count your characters as you're editing. I'm begging you, use as many of the 220 characters as possible, okay? So if you are joining us for the first time, you are now caught up, and we can now start the lesson for week 2. For those of you that are still working on last week's homework, that is fine. Please don't beat yourself up. Life happens. But as a reminder, as we're building your profile and overhauling those 2 items, your SSI page as well as creating your headline language, really important critical items that I would knock those out as soon as possible if I were you, because we're going to keep building. So if you get behind, it'll be tough to catch up because we're building. Okay. Now, what we're building from here on out is the branding aspect of your LinkedIn life. Okay. So a couple of weeks ago, I was here and we had a brief conversation around what your brand is all about, but we're going to spend this week really identifying what your personal brand is all about. Okay, and I'm going to help you with this. I have simplified it as best I can simplify it because I understand that personal brands, the topic itself, can be overwhelming for someone if they've never gone down this path. Okay, so there are 3 things in particular I'm about to walk you through that will help you identify what your brand is all about. If you've already done this work and you've already created your personal brand persona and your messaging and all of that, then this is really a review for you. But for everybody else, we're going to talk about the individual pieces, okay, starting with your top values. Okay, I'll never forget, I had a conversation with an executive a few years ago, vice president at a regional bank. His company brought me in for executive coaching for their leaders. And this question was on the questionnaire, the pre-questionnaire that I give clients before we start working. The question or statement or instructions, whatever, says, tell me about your top values. And this one particular executive put, I'm here to make the world better. Finally got in session with him. I pulled that up. I said, what the hell does that mean? Like, seriously, what the hell? Come on, man. You're an executive. How did you make it to this point with some shit like that? Like, really? What does that even mean? Okay. I need to get very granular here in identifying your top values because All of this goes into the pot so that we can stir up the pot and you come out with a brand that people want to be aligned with, want to engage with. So identifying your top values means that you've got to be very clear about what gets you going. Okay, what actually gets you going? What are some of the things that we know we're going to get from you? And when we see you, it's going to be one of those things that we can identify as something that matters to you. Okay, I put it to you this way. When I do this activity with my clients, when we're actually doing the work for this particular item, I have them build a quadrant. Okay, which is essentially going to be the same quadrant or bucket of topics that this client will use for their social media marketing. Okay, some of you are just out here posting anything and everything on social media. I get it. It's your page. You do whatever you want. But sometimes that makes it unclear to your audience. They don't know what you're about. If you're posting any and everything, they can't find what quadrants you exist in. They can't identify what your brand is all about. It's just kind of everything, right? So if you were to take a piece of paper one day and just draw yourself a quadrant, identify what are the 4 specific areas that you know are going to be main topics that when you show up, whether it's online or in person, when you show up, you know that what you're talking about is going to fit in one of those quadrants. Okay. Example, y'all know me for LinkedIn. Most people do. People are surprised sometimes when they come to work with me and they find out I actually do more stuff than LinkedIn, right? But my brand is all about LinkedIn, and that's what attracts people. However, when people get to know my brand, for the people who have been with me for years, they can all tell you what my brand is about beyond LinkedIn, to the point. This just happened yesterday, so fresh on my mind, to the point where people send me messages and emails that have nothing to do with LinkedIn, but have everything to do with what matters to me. And yesterday, a nice young lady from California sent me a photo album. It was an actual photo album of bearded men. Why? Because everybody who's with me, everybody who's rolled with me, everybody knows that a man with a beard, a fine chocolate man with a beard, possibly silver, not necessarily, but possibly, right? That's going to make me stop in my tracks, right? It's going to derail my day because I'm going to sit there and look at that photo album for a good 20 minutes and not even realize that I was in the middle of working. Why? Because bearded men matter to me. Dr. Darlaina, she's over there cracking up because she knows, right? She knows. So create a quadrant for yourself. The 4 main categories that we can expect from your brand can be your top values, the things that matter to you, but you've got to identify it first. Okay. That way you can minimize the tendency to just show up on social media with any and everything. Okay. Hang on, let me pause. We got a question, I think. Oh, let's check it out. Pause. Let's check this out, Miss Tori. Elite Tax Group, TBT Elite Tax Group is a premium financial services firm. Oh, okay, pause. This is for everybody. Let me go back. Still with you, Miss Tori. We're still checking out your headline here. Let me go back on the slide to give you a visual. All right, so here's your headline, okay? This is the 220 characters that we're creating. So Miss Tori, what we're going to do with yours is take a lot of the content that you have here in sentence form, right? I want you to copy, well, you probably have this in your Word document already, but if not, copy and paste it back into your Word document so you don't lose this verbiage, Miss Tori. And this is for everybody. So I want all of you to jot this down. You see in the chat, Miss Tori added her headline. Okay. So for everybody, Miss Tori, this content right here is perfectly designed. So I need you to make sure it's copy and paste it into your Word document. Okay. This is not your headline content though. Okay. And the reason I'm saying that is because what you've got here as your content is sentence form. It reads like a sentence, right? These are sentences,
Correct.
real content. This is real content that I want you to keep. I want you to keep this content because it's going to go on your profile further down the page when we get to your experience section. Okay. Your experience section, which we're going to get to in a few weeks, but down there, you will create a whole chunk of content having to do with what you do for a living. Okay. Hence the experience section. This content that you just put in the chat is perfectly created for the experience section where you're defining and telling us the story about what you do. This is going to go down there. Okay. So for everybody who's looking at the chat saying, wow, this is great content for to explain to us what your business is all about. Yeah, it's great. It goes in a different section though. So keep this in your Word document. Please don't lose this content. Okay. Because it really is perfectly designed. It just goes somewhere else. Now, that said, Miss Tori and everybody else, bringing you back to your headline. Here's the difference. There are two main differences I want you to take away. One is that, notice these are not sentences. This is a headline. Think magazine headline, newspaper headline, right? There are no sentences. It's just a headline. But the second thing that I want you to remember is that in creating your headline content, we came up with a value proposition. Okay. And that value proposition was answering these questions. What do you do? Who are you doing this for? And what are the benefits? What are the results? What happens? Why do we care? Okay. All of that in one statement, one headline. So it'll end up like this. What do? I teach. Who do you teach? Women of color. What are the results? They find 25K in funding to grow their businesses. Okay, that's going to be your headline. So Miss Tori, thank you for putting your content in the chat for me. This really is content that I need you to keep that.
Thank you for helping me.
Yeah, I don't want you to lose that verbiage, but store it somewhere so you don't lose it and have to create it again. All right, thank you for that example. Let me get you back to where we left off. So top values, you got that. The next thing that you've got to identify, in addition to your top values, I love this one because this one is going to force you. This one is going to force you to get out of the general category of, oh, I just want to change the world, right? Okay, but what does that mean? How are you going to do it? What are your superpowers? What is it about you that we can all say, we know you do this better than anybody else? This happened yesterday. Dr. Darlaina was there. I had a conversation with someone yesterday. We had a conversation. And somebody said, I know you do LinkedIn better than anybody else. They literally said that. Okay, word for word. They didn't see this slide, right? But this is how it's supposed to work. This is literally how it's supposed to work. That when you are clear on your superpowers and you can communicate that clearly to your audience, there's no mistaking what your superpowers are. right? And like I said, people come to me for LinkedIn and find out there are other things, but that's okay. I'm fine with that. As long as you all know that when it comes to this thing, when it comes to teaching LinkedIn, I'm going to learn you some LinkedIn, right? That's a superpower. Okay. What is it about how you work that's unique, right? What's unique? What are some of the ways that you make people feel as a result of what you do? And ultimately, what's your special sauce? What's your special sauce? Right? I mean, we can all go to McDonald's and get a burger if we want to, or we can go to White Castle and get a burger. What's the special sauce? What's the difference? They're both burgers. Okay. But something is special and unique about your burger. You've got to be able to identify it, though, in order to communicate it effectively. Okay. Now, just a caveat for your superpowers and really everything that you're creating from here on out. These are messages that you're communicating that are verbal messages, visual messages, haptic messages, all of the ways that you can communicate is what you've got to identify in this activity around your personal brand. It's all of the things that make you different and unique that we should expect. I think I told you a couple of weeks ago the story about how a young lady called me for a speaking event. And in our conversation, she said, I just remember how you showed up with all your peace signs and your chucks. Okay, what does that have to do with LinkedIn? Nothing. It's nothing. Nothing at all. But she remembers how my brand stood out. What she remembered about my brand were just visual cues. Cues that she knows when I show up, yeah, I'm gonna have my peace sign on. Signs, right? I don't change these things. Some people spend money on jewelry. I don't. I've been wearing the same earrings for the last 15 years. That's money I save because I don't buy shit. What for? They work. Right? But people come to expect that, right? When you see me, you don't see me wearing anything but Chucks. Why? Because I don't own anything but Chucks. Why? Because when I lost my house in foreclosure, the last thing I looked at was my closet and 152 pairs of stilettos. 152 pairs of stilettos that I had to wear for 20 plus years in my corporate life. Yeah, I was known for rocking my pantsuits. I was cold. People still know that to this day. People still talking about my pantsuits to this day. Knowing me from my shoes and my get up, okay. But those 152 pairs of stilettos were not authentically me. They weren't. And my very first day working with my coach, the very first day of me being a full-time entrepreneur, my very first day with my coach, he told me, go in your closet right now. He said, I want you to pull out what you believe is your favorite outfit. Just put everything on the bed. Now I'm like, okay, this is weird, but all right. I went in the closet, pulled out what I thought would be my favorite outfit. He said, you got everything? He said, I need you to have everything, the belt, the socks, all of it. Put everything together. I was like, okay, this is pretty cold right here. What is it? He said, what do you have? I said, oh, I got my blazer, my graphic tees, my jeans, and my Chucks. He said, that's your favorite outfit. I was like, yeah. He said, okay, that's your uniform from now on. When you show up in the world, you're going to show up in a variation of that uniform. And I promise you, for the last 11 years, unless I'm going to the grocery store or something, you see me out, you see me working, you're going to see me in a blazer, jeans, and Chucks every single time. Okay. All of that is going to tie back to the visual cue of your brand. So you mix that with your superpowers and your values, things that matter to you, people begin to remember. You begin to communicate with us why your brand is special. And the last thing I need you to identify is what's different about you. What's different about you? Now, I love this exercise because it's so simplified that you can't mess this one up. Okay. One day you're going to take some time in your notebook, you're going to do exactly what you see here. You're going to identify what are the things that you bring to the table that are the same as your competitors. Okay. The things that are the same as your competitors. But I need you to take it a step further. And this is where sometimes people drop the ball in their marketing. What's different about what you do compared to your competitors? You have got to be so clear on what's different about what you offer. Okay. It's going to end up being something like this. We just talked a little while ago about Grant Cardone. And yes, Grant is part of that club, pushing the whole, his thing is 10X. So 10X your life. But for him, it's, like Dr. Darlaina said, it's being everywhere on every platform, 24/7, is being everywhere. Okay. And he's very clear on that, right? All of his content backs that up. Everything that you get from him backs that up. Now, what I learned is that a lot of what I coach is in alignment with what Grant Cardone teaches. A lot of it, because we came out of the same school. So we share a lot of the same philosophies. Okay. Where we are different and why the marketplace would choose me over a grant to get to the same results is because what makes me different is that I teach people how to build and grow their businesses organically without being famous, without having to have millions of followers, without needing to be on every platform 24/7, paying advertisement dollars all day, every day. That's what makes me different than Grant. Okay. You've got to be clear on what you do that's the same as your competitors so that your language, your messaging is consistent with what the marketplace is looking for. But if you don't identify what makes you different than your competition, you run the risk of your ideal audience going to your competition. Because guess what? Grant has a louder voice than I do. He is everywhere 24/7 on every platform. So guess what? Somebody who simply Googles how to master LinkedIn. Yeah, they'll see me on page 1 of the Google results, but I bet you they'll see Grant before me. That's not true because he doesn't dabble in LinkedIn. But if you put in business, like how to grow your business, that's probably a better example. Yeah, I'll be in the search results for that, but Grant's going to be higher, okay, because he is everywhere on all the platforms 24/7. So someone does have to actually look for me compared to Grant. Okay. When they find me, though, what's going to make them choose me is the language that shows why I am different. Okay. Not everybody wants millions of followers. That's what you're going to get when you go to Grant School. You're going to learn how to 10X your life. And part of that means you're going to have millions of followers. You're going to have millions of dollars too, but you're going to have millions of followers. I'm just of the school. I came up in the generation where valuable relationships matter. So building relationships organically is how I got here. Okay. Not having millions of followers. So what makes me different, and I use this in my marketing, is that I will teach you how to get to your results organically so that you're not paying for advertisements on Facebook when the people on Facebook are not your clients. Okay. So just to recap, because I want you to get your wheels going for your homework, because your homework is to identify all three things here: your top values, your superpowers, and your differentiation. So over the next week, as you're identifying these three categories, you're going to need your Word documents, because the thoughts are just going to come to you randomly. I need you to capture your thoughts as you have them. It may not make sense in sentence form yet, but when you think about things in that moment, pull out your Word document, get it in there, and you'll come back over the next couple of weeks to actually create content. So just to give you a snapshot, this next few weeks, 3 or 4 weeks actually, you're going to be knee deep in creating content. Okay, so your LinkedIn profile has two main sections of content: your about section and then your experience section. One section is about you. The other section is about what you do. Okay. But both sections require content, and both sections have got to ooze your personal brand. So if you don't have these things identified, then when it comes time to actually create the content, build the messaging, you might find that you're either lost completely, or you're using some of that general messaging of, I want to save the world, but that doesn't tell us anything. Okay. So your homework over the next week, again, is to identify your top values, your superpowers, and your differentiation, what makes you unique and different. And with that, I'm going to open the floor. I am going to open the floor so that you can share any aha moments that you've had over the last week. You can also use this time to ask questions, get help with your situation. But the floor is open. And let me just check here in the chat, because it looks like I missed something here in the chat. I will get caught up. And if you do want to hop in the seat for coaching and aha moments, simply come off mute. You can also put your question in the chat, and I'm getting caught up.
So I remember, like, there's people that you say we should connect to, and not be accepting everybody.
Yes.
What came up in my mind was you told me that there's a lifetime limit.
Yes.
And I don't think that everybody knows that, because sometimes you just be willy-nilly accepting anybody that talks to you. So can
Right.
you speak to the lifetime limit on LinkedIn as to the people that we accept in our connections?
Absolutely. So just to get everybody on the same page here, what we're talking about is growing your network. On LinkedIn, you have a network of people that you're connected to versus people who follow you, or people who are just outside your network altogether. So there are two things here. One is when it comes to sending connection requests, okay? Meaning you found John and you want to connect with John, so you're tempted to hit the button that says connect, okay? I encourage my clients to never hit the button that says connect, okay? Couple of reasons. Number one, as Dr. Darlaina just told you, there is a cap on how many connection requests you can send in the entire lifespan of your account. Okay, that limit is 3,000. Okay, 3,000. That means you send 3,000 connection requests, LinkedIn is going to cut that functionality off. You hit your limit. I've seen this happen to people. It's not pleasant. because in all of those cases, those people didn't even know there was a limit. Okay. So instead of, well, that's one reason you have a limit. The second reason I advise my clients not to hit the connect button is because psychologically speaking, right now, mind you, my background is sales. Okay. So I'm coming from a sales perspective. And in sales, power is everything. Okay. So from a psychological perspective, when you hit the connect button, you're saying, hey, John, I want to connect with you. When the reality is no, no. John should want to connect with you. So psychologically speaking, I encourage my clients to build the relationship with John, start the conversation with John. And if you decide that you and John should be connected, then you invite John to send you the connection request. Okay. I say things like, hey, send me a connection request. That's it. That's the whole thing. That's it. That's the whole statement. Send me a connection request on LinkedIn. Okay. I do this when I'm standing next to someone at a conference, literally. I know I'm standing right next to you, but send me a connection request on LinkedIn real fast. Okay. It is a power move to establish right up front who in this relationship has the power. That would be you, because you are the one who's sought after. Okay. If you don't believe that, then why are we here? She laughing at me. But really, 3,000 is your limit. So stop sending them all willy-nilly. Be very picky and choosy when you decide that it is time for you to click the connect button. I just encourage you that if you identify that John is someone you should be connected with, instead of hitting the connect button, tell John to send the invitation to you. Okay, so that you keep your bucket of connection requests. Okay. Therefore, you will not decrease. Exactly. Miss Yvette, I see your hand up. Oh, that
So
was
you
her
just answered
comment.
my question.
Got it. Okay.
Yes, therefore, we will not decrease our 3,000, correct?
That is correct. That is correct. You will
Awesome.
maintain your bucket for longer because let's face it, if you've been on the platform for any amount of time, you don't have 3,000 anymore. Right. And unfortunately, there's no way for us to actually check, and LinkedIn can't check. So when you call customer service, they can't tell you how many you have left. So there's no way for you to identify that. But I can guarantee that we don't have 3,000 if we've been there for a little while. Okay. Business versus social. Absolutely. This is not IG. Correct. This is not IG, although uh if your content is if IG is your favorite place to hang out and you're already established on IG, so you already have a lot of visual content, I encourage you to take what you've done on IG, bring it over to LinkedIn. Okay. LinkedIn is not known for being a visual platform. However, it is a networking platform. And in networking, people want to see what you're doing. Right. So if your lane of expertise is a visual lane, bring the visuals over to LinkedIn. Okay. You're going to have different conversations, but your visuals should be consistent. Okay. I see someone's hand up. iPhone user.
That's me. That's Hillary, Emily's Joyce.
Hi, Miss Hillary.
Good morning, everybody. No, this is so good. It's so good because for a person like me that struggles with, I'm a introvert, extrovert, and a reseller. I do lives and I'm always out there like that. But honestly, I've never been the type of person that likes to be at the forefront of anything. Like
Mhm.
I've always been that background girl. So doing things like this it's challenging for me because because I'm so out of my element. I'll just say that. And I did sales and everything, but I don't know what it is about having, or I don't want to say having to do something that's actually something that's your baby, or that you're so passionate about. But for whatever reason, I've always had apprehension about just throwing myself out there on a bigger level. And I hate that feeling because I'm like, okay, you're fine, you're great, but why do you feel like you can't be in that pool with everybody else, right? I feel like that though.
Mhm.
That's real. So I guess as I'm listening and I'm learning and all the things that you're sharing, I'm like, this is so good. But how do you, and I know this may be something that you'll share later, but how do you deal with that with people? Because I know that that's something that's relevant. Like, I'm not the only one that has that, you know?
Oh, you're definitely not the only one. I'm right there with you. Have always been. And this is specifically why I work with people who are not interested in being famous and having millions of followers. There are people like us who prefer to be behind the scenes. Like, I think one of my biggest flexes in life is being the biggest kept secret in yours. Okay. So that's something that I embrace. I understand that everybody else wants to be out there, be seen, be relevant. Social media is a place to get that kind of visibility. I understand that. I don't knock the people who fall in that boat. I just happen to work with the Facebook famous because the Facebook famous people keep telling me that all the time and energy they're putting into Facebook and IG is not getting them the contracts and the millions that they're looking for. And to me, it's clear why. It's because you're over there having social conversations on social media platforms. But you can come over to LinkedIn with your introverted self and have conversations without showing your face, without having millions of followers, without needing the algorithm to clock in with you every 5 minutes. None of that is necessary. Okay, so if you are introverted like myself and Miss Hillary, and you don't necessarily want to show your face to the world all day, every day, because the internet is forever, understand that, too. And I'm more convinced for you, Miss Hillary, that if that's where you are, where showing up online for the world to see is not a desire, I get it. I'm more convinced now that LinkedIn is a place for you because you can show up on LinkedIn with your very visual IG style content and build a presence on that platform that leads you to more strategic conversations. I really believe that for you. And having done it myself, I show my face. Y'all don't believe me. Have not been on the internet in the last 3 years publicly. No, 2023. So 2 years, almost three. There are like two posts from me that were emergency posts that I had to share with the world. Other than that, nobody has seen me publicly on any platform, including LinkedIn.
That's how y'all know we exclusive up in here.
And that's how you know that the goals and desires that you want to hit can be done going a non-traditional route. You don't have to be everywhere doing everything. I understand Grant. I follow Grant. I'm down with all his shit. I am. Trust me. I just don't want that kind of visibility for my life. I want to go to the grocery store and be unrecognizable. Because let me tell you, when somebody recognizes you in public, it will scare the shit out of you, as it did for me. It's embarrassing. It's not a great experience when somebody recognizes you and they are fangirling out and you just want to pick up your milk and go to hell home. I don't want that for my life. I experienced it. I don't want to be recognized in public like that. Okay, so I understand, Miss Hillary, but I also know from experience that you can build what you want to build. You can check off boxes of your vision board without having the visibility that extroverts are just privy to on a regular basis. You don't need all that. You don't have to have that lifestyle in order to hit your goals. So, Miss Hillary, I encourage you, come on over to LinkedIn so you can have some different conversations with people without having to put your face on everything and everywhere. I got a young lady down in South Carolina. She's 72 years old. She still works full time. And her videos are on LinkedIn because I found her and started following her on IG. Now, well, she became a client a couple years ago, but now her content that I fell in love with on IG is on LinkedIn. She's building a presence on LinkedIn. Do you know this woman does videos where all she does is she's out in her garden at home and she shows us her feet walking through the garden? This woman's face, all we see is her walking through the garden. Now she's doing guided meditations at the same time, but we ain't never seen her face. Okay. So please trust me when I'm saying all the introverts here, like myself, you can protect your spirit and your energy and stay in your introverted space and still hit your goals using a platform like LinkedIn. Okay. Being strategic with connecting, you got to be strategic with connecting. Everybody can't get in your LinkedIn circle. Okay. This is your financial well-being that you are protecting. Okay. Because LinkedIn is your professional network. That means if you just let anybody in, the riffraff that you let into your network is going to spam you and the other people in your network. Guess what happens when everybody finds out that you allowed them to be spammed? You don't want that. Okay.
Tori got her hand up.
Yes, Miss Tori.
Our AI teacher. We got some amazing AI pictures.
You know, I was coming in here to ask about that because okay, so my content is changing a little bit. So where I thought I wanted to be the face of my brand, I no longer want to be. And I have two different brands. So my first brand is my text business, which I am the face of. So that's like my flyers, things like that that I'm promoting on Instagram. And then my next business is going to be, I guess, motivational manifestation. I'm still trying to work it out, but that is my AI character. Her name is Diana, and I've come up with good videos. I've been able to lip sync my voice to her. So I know you said that LinkedIn and AI are kind of, not on the same page, but what did you think about that for an additional page for me to make?
As an additional page, probably not. Added to your page, yes. So let me explain there. So you mentioned you've got two brands.
Yes, my text page, my text business, and my motivational business, my manifestation business.
Okay, so wearing multiple hats that are in different lanes. There's nothing wrong with that. When we land on your page, Miss Tori, on your actual profile, we should be able to see the different hats you wear. So we land on Miss Tori's profile, we should be able to scroll down to the experience section. We should see content related to both entities from your page. Now, that said, in your experience section is where your businesses would be listed. So not only are you going to create content in a few weeks around what you actually do, but you would have a business page created so that when we're on your profile, we're looking at the experience section, we should be able to click your actual business logo and go to the business page, or in your case, pages, right? So one page might be the tax business. The other page might be your motivational content, but we should be able to get to both of them from your profile. Okay, so it's one place, your profile, that houses all the hats that you wear. Okay, if I can do this real quick, what I'm going to do is pull it up and show it to you so that you can see what this actually looks like on your profile. And then while I'm pulling it up, I think I saw another question or another hand somewhere, so I can take that while
Yvette.
it was Miss Yvette.
Yes. Dr. T, I'm curious to know if we could just go back a tad bit for the lady that had her footage of meditation on the LinkedIn that you follow. Does she have her face as what's on her head page? Is it her face? A picture of her?
She does have a picture as her
Okay.
profile picture. However, her face does not picture. Every time I see it, it reminds me of The Color Purple, where in The Color Purple you just see an open field, and then you see like Celie, but you're behind Celie, looking at the field. It's like that. So you see her, but you see her from the back, and you only see like the very
Like
You don't see her full face. You
don't
do
see her
see
full
her
face at all.
Okay.
You don't
Thank
see
you.
her full face at all. I mean, I asked her one time, like, is this a situation where you're running from the law? You know, I mean, help me understand here. But no, she's had some negative experiences on the internet, and she's very protective. That's all. Yeah, the silhouette, exactly. Okay, let me share my screen because I want you to see what this looks like on your actual profile, because this actually applies to many of you, because when you introduced yourself last week, you told me that you wear many hats, some of you. Okay, so on your actual profile, it'll appear like this, where you have your businesses listed and we can click the logo. If you don't have a logo here, that's a dead giveaway. Okay, we'll come back to that in a few weeks, but if you don't have a logo here for your business, what it tells us is that, or what we assume, I should say, what we assume is that you don't have a legit business. Okay. The reason we assume that is because if there's no logo here, that means we can't click. Okay. If you have a logo here, you see my cursor, that means we can click this and it will take us to your business page. Okay. So just one more visual for you see how the whole thing, when you see a tree like this and you see these dots connecting, this means someone has multiple hats that they wear in that business. Okay, so the one business, you wear multiple hats and each hat has its own separate section. Okay, just like each business has its own separate section. Okay.
Come on, senior business.
Man, I tell you, I climbed that ladder. I did. I climbed the corporate
I know
ladder.
your ladder was against the brick
did.
wall.
Yeah, I did. I climbed it. I got to the top, said, I don't want to be here.
I quit.
Yeah, I did.
I quit.
I'm like, I don't want to be here.
Don't
Everybody
wanna
in my
do it.
world was like, what's wrong with you?
I don't want it. I don't want
What is
it.
wrong with you? Like, why are you
Honey.
doing this? And I tell you, because I mean, you'll find it if you see the videos online. There are all kinds of interviews and whatnot where people are fascinated with the fact that when I left, I literally had $356 to my name. And so when you come to me and you tell me I don't have the money to do X, Y, and Z, I'm gonna look at you and say, bullshit. Bullshit. Okay. If I got here
Ooh.
with no money, okay, because let's be real. Yes, I'm in this place where today is Friday. Today, I close on my piece of land. Today. Okay. Land that I paid cash for. Cash. Okay. How can you be in this position where I'm shelling out cash for a piece of land, already paid cash for the house sitting waiting to be delivered? How could I do that? When I've been in business 11 months, lost 11 years, I've lost everything twice. Everything, lost everything twice. Okay, some of you know what it means to lose everything. I'm talking about lose everything. You
Yeah.
know what it does to you when you have to walk out of your house that's foreclosed and you can't take shit with you because you only have the one truck. And so only certain items can fit in your truck. Everything else got to stay because ain't nobody here helping you move your shit into storage or help you get to the next level, right? That's me. I built this by myself with no money. No money. Nobody came around and deposited $1 million into my account. Nobody did that. I mean, I did have a coach once who woke up one day and decided to deposit $1,000 into my account just because. She didn't know that $1,000 was going to feed me. She didn't know that I actually was living in a homeless shelter when she sent it to me. She didn't know, my own coach. But that $1,000 is what I used to buy food for the next month so that while I was in that homeless shelter, I could work my ass off every day to change my situation. Okay.
Mhm.
I'm that person that tells you bullshit when you tell me your circumstances matter.
I heard her say it a whole bunch of times yesterday. That's what they said in the group. In the group, they said they like your no nonsense demeanor, the bedside manner, if you will. Noreen has her hand up.
Miss Noreen, yes.
Thank you always for what you're doing for us. I had a question with the experience because I have a whole bunch of things under my umbrella, right? Under and so like select speaker, I'm creating my membership program and I'm gonna have different programs. So would they be listed separately in the experience?
But I would list them separately, but let me show you what I mean by that. We're going to do this live because this is a great example for everybody. This is a perfect example, Miss Noreen. Oh, this is so good. This is delicious.
Not showing my picture. How come it's not showing my picture?
Let's find out. It looks like you have more than one account, and I'm just guessing. Where are you located?
That's the one the top one is the one I have. I use.
And you just have the one?
As far as I know.
No, none of these are you.
No.
Okay.
That's why I use my middle initial actually.
Aha. All right, good to know. So the reason we don't see your picture is because there isn't one.
I do have one.
Really?
Yeah. That's interesting.
On your end, when you go to pull up your profile the next time on your end, when you see the pencils here that allow you to edit, just go ahead and upload it again just to make sure. And then this time, refresh your page when you finish, just to make sure that it sticks.
Okay.
Okay.
Wow.
So you're saying that in your experience section, you wear many hats. Oh, this is perfect. Oh my goodness, this is perfect. Oh, girl, yes.
Don't get so excited.
I do. The nerd in me gets so excited. I get so excited because what I see here is the best opportunity in front of you to create a narrative that draws us in. So we want to see the hats you wear, but we understand what each hat is about and why you are the chosen one to wear all the hats, right? So what we've got right now is only one hat that you wear. However, the hat that we see, founder, is not the one we could pay you for. Okay. So what gets me excited is when I see all this up here, These titles here are what I can pay you for. Okay. So to answer your question, the hats that you wear, these hats here, will be listed down here under the same business. But in addition to listing your hats down here, we're going to create a business page for you, because right now we can't click. Like right now, this icon here tells us that there's no business page set up. Okay. So what's got me so excited right now is that you're telling me up here that you do some things, right? Down here, you're telling me that you don't do anything I can pay you for. Like I can't actually hire a founder, okay? But in your near future, when I land on your page and everybody else who's a potential client, investor, sponsor, etc., they will see all of the different hats down here, along with the story behind the hats that you wear, so that this section, someone reads it and they'll be able to say, you know what, we need her at our next event, or you know what, hire her to do blah, 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 blah. Okay. That's what should happen down here. And it will happen when we get an actual page set up that can be the landing page for your business and all the hats that you wear.
So what you're saying is that LinkedIn has business pages like Facebook?
Absolutely.
Wow, that's a new thing. I didn't know.
So
Not
that's
only,
why, oh, sorry.
oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
I was going to say, because I was trying to add my logo, but I couldn't get it to work. So is that why?
Yes.
Because there's no business page.
Correct. So when you actually go to start your business page, to actually create your business page, there are two things that everybody needs in order to create a business page. So as long as you have these two things, you'll be able to do it. See, this is the difference that we're talking about right here. One is a logo, one is not. Okay. The way that you get the logo to appear when you create your business page is by having, one, a logo, and two, an actual business email address. Both are requirements in order to set up a business page. So as I tell people all the time, when I'm helping someone learn how to vet a candidate for whatever it is, I tell them, well, when you go look at their LinkedIn page and determine if they have an actual business, you're looking for the logo. If you see that they don't have a logo, it means they probably don't have a business email address. That person is probably operating their business with a Gmail account for email, which is not allowed to create a business page. So 9 times out of 10, this is how I tell people, this is how you know if someone's legit. You go to their LinkedIn page, you look to see whether or not they have a logo next to their business. If they do not have a logo, chances are they don't have a legitimate business, and they're probably using a Gmail address. Okay, those are red flags in business. Right? You know, there are people out there who specifically look for businesses with a Gmail address. Why? Because they seek you out so that they can sue you. Why? Because if you're using Gmail for your business, that means you don't have any of the business protections that you're required to have as a business. Okay? That means that your email can be spammed, someone can hack your system, all of the securities that you should have as a business, you do not have. And when people see that Gmail address, they know that they can sue you because you don't have any kinds of security protections for your business. Okay. But yeah, really have no fear for any of you that don't have your logos here yet. Have no fear. We're going to get to the point where you will create an actual business page and your logo will appear here. And yes, someone can go to your business page just like they do on Facebook. Okay, I see Miss Bridget's hand up, and she also has a question. I have a logo, but what is a good business email account? Oh,
Cool.
Your business email account is typically tied to your don't get me to lie, what
That
is
was
that
part of
called?
my question. Is it tied to
Web
your
address.
website
Yes.
You're
or your
tied to your
domain?
website, your domain. That's the word I'm looking for. Thank you. It's tied to your domain. So go back and look at your actual domain that you use to build your website. And if that was it wasn't you, somebody else,
Yeah,
have your
that was
person.
me. That was had my hand up.
Okay. So have your person or you, if you set it up yourself, just go to your actual domain and every time you buy a domain, it gives you 2 email addresses.
Yeah.
Okay.
So so I don't know. I have multiple domains on GoDaddy. So like maybe 2 of my domains have free web email. And then there's some that you have to pay for. I think once you get a certain number, they make you pay like something nominal like $2 a month
A
or
month. Yeah.
$12, something like that.
Right.
With at least with GoDaddy. I did find this company that was cheaper. I have to find a name and share it with you, and if you like it, you could use that. Uh,
I have had all of this. I've had, I was an LLC. I had my LLC, I had my domain, all of the things. And I honestly just got discouraged with business and let it go. I paid for all of it. I was paying by the year. I was doing everything that we have learned because Darlaina, we done learned a lot over the years.
yes, we had.
And I was doing the things and I just honestly got discouraged. That's why I deleted my LinkedIn page because I honestly got discouraged with this process. And now I know better, of course, and I'm grateful for Dr. Tawana because
You gonna
she
go?
is showing.
You gonna
Can you
go?
hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay. You know, she keeping it real. You my kind of coach. I love it. Thank you
You're
for
so
coming in
welcome.
with the come in because the hope of reestablishing and like I said, really relaunching myself because I am the person too that has I'm good at a lot of things, but I want to be able to present myself, like you said, for something that somebody can pay me for and
Mhm.
not just being all over the place.
Right, exactly. Because we can have, I have clients that fall in the boat where they have millions of followers, hundreds of thousands of followers. And when I ask them questions about how many clients they get, like what's your actual conversion rate when you've got millions of people looking at you, and they all tell me the same thing. They have all of these followers. And if they put out a post right now that says, hey, flash sale, my services are 50% off, that they will have fewer than 100 people who act on that. I say, why? 100 people? Fewer? Hell, I get fewer than 100 people. Okay. So if you have millions of followers and you put out a call to action and you have fewer than 100 people who take action, what's the point in having millions of followers?
Exactly.
What's the point? I don't understand. And maybe that's just not my thing to be part of the popularity club, but I'm looking for the dollars. And followers does not equal revenue. Okay. I understand some folks are collecting checks from Facebook for their engagement and whatnot, but from the videos that I see every day, somebody is talking about the check that they just got from Facebook. I'm looking at these checks and then I'm looking at the people showing me their checks. And I'm thinking, damn that. If I gotta work 23 out of 24 hours in a day to get this minimal check that's not even enticing to me, why? Like, why bother? So that's why I'm on LinkedIn. And we don't have that problem over here. We don't deal with stuff like that over here. It's a different ball game.
Different ball game.
You know?
So grateful and
I just checking. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. Just
No
making sure
worries.
I caught that last message. And Miss Yvette. See that?
yes.
Yeah, Dr. T and everyone that's on this class, I am just so blessed and excited to be here in the second week. And let me tell you, tonight at 7 p.m., my church is having a revival. And the last couple of weeks, we've been getting engaged of how we're going to revival. Is at the Met that holds 3,500 people.
Mm,
Told us what all we need to be revived in. And I deeply, heartily feel that the blessings from this class is my revival in my business, in my knowledge, in my business of rebirthing. Someone said relaunching their business. It's like a revival. I'm so excited. I'm in tears. And I just thank you. I thank everyone for their questions, because it's questions that we have, but we don't have it to say that out mouth yet.
right.
And we're getting answers. We're getting answers. So this is just week 2.
Yeah.
Can't imagine what the following 10 weeks is going to give us. So thank you, thank you, thank you. And I just wanted to put that out in the atmosphere,
Yeah.
that I know
Um,
everyone is feeling extremely blessed as well.
I
Thank
got a chance to talk to Leslie after week 1.
you.
And Leslie said, girl,
Yeah.
did you know that word fractional CEO? I said, girl, no. She was like, but you know what I'm excited about? That even though we didn't know, it's people who know.
Yeah.
So because the people know, we could do that.
Yeah.
Because they know.
Right. It's a
Like
thing.
I could come at and Les is a business lady and teacher, trainer, facilitator, the whole 9 yards. And she's been doing it for all these schools and everything. And she's like, I'm just tired of being in the school. I don't want to have to be there every day.
Hmm.
I said, I don't think fractional CEOs got to come every day.
Right.
I
Yeah.
think they set their own schedule
If they come at all, right.
if they come at all, because you
Right.
may be in a different town.
Right. Yeah. Fractional work is what opens doors for you to get into places that wouldn't allow you in before. Okay.
Mhm.
And all it is a contract. You're doing the same work you probably would do if you brought them on as a client your normal way. It's the
Yeah.
same work. You're using your same skills. You're just packaging your services differently. And you're doing that because there are small businesses out there who don't have it in their budget to hire a marketing executive, a sales executive, somebody to overhaul all of their internal systems. If you don't have that in your budget, you probably feel helpless as a business owner because you don't have the wherewithal to do all of that yourself. Like that weighs on a business owner. So when you come along and you say, look, let me take some of the weight off of your shoulders for the next quarter, right? I may not be in your budget for the whole year, but I can come in and clean up shop for the next quarter,
Mhm.
right? Fix your problems, hand it right back to you,
Yes.
right? Because the alternative is you fix the shit yourself, but what's going to take me a quarter is going to take you 3 years because you don't know what you're doing,
Mm.
right? So a
'Cause you don't know
fractional
what you're doing.
contract is nothing to that business owner who's hemorrhaging money because they don't know what they're doing. Right. So people hire fractional executives all the time. Okay. Even companies hire them, larger companies, I mean.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
sometimes hire fractional workers because they're in situations where their payroll might be extended or at capacity, but they need the work done.
Yeah.
Right. And so when the work has to get done, and you don't want to position yourself as a contractor to do the work, I encourage you to position yourself as the fractional executive because that comes with commas and zeros that the consultant contract does not.
Mm.
Right? Same work, Same result. One's got commas and zeros behind it, one does not.
And I decree and declare only commas and zeros in my future.
That's it. That's it. You need the commas and zeros to make a bigger impact in the world. So even if you told me that you're not interested in making the millions that I see for you, okay, you still want to make a bigger impact. I know you do because you told me what you wanted to do last week. You want to make a bigger impact. And in order to make a bigger impact in the world, you need some more commas and zeros.
Yeah.
Right? This is not us being frivolous. We all know, we've proven that we can be good stewards of our finances, right? Okay. I know that on paper, a bank doesn't look at me and say, oh, approve her. Like a bank looks at me and says, what the hell is wrong with you? Like, why are you making all these decisions in life? And like, why? Right? They may not understand that. But the decisions I've made have been examples of times that I was a good steward of my money. Right? Which means I deserve more. I can take care of more. Right? We started our session today talking about new. We're ready for more. We're ready for new, right? How are you going to make the impact in the world that you want to make when your time and energy goes into chasing money? I beg you to stop chasing the money. Well, what are you chasing something for? It's yours. It's yours. Why are you chasing it? Like, use that energy for something else. So Miss Yvette, thank you for sharing. I'm so excited for you that that this is a rebirth, if you will, because I know what it's like to get discouraged in your business. I know what it's like to just say, you know what, screw it, right? I get that. I see it all the time. On a regular basis, at least once a week, somebody sends me a message say, I went and got a job, right? I understand that. I get it. So thank you for sharing, because I'm excited for all of you that see this as an opportunity to elevate from wherever you started, because I wouldn't be here week after week for 12 weeks talking about some shit that ain't gonna work for you. I just wouldn't. I don't have that kind of time. Okay. But I love Dr. Darlaina so much that I'm here without charging you, because I know this is a gift. I know when you leverage this platform, this is the best gift I can give you.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I know this from experience.
Right.
Right. Some of you keep a list of what I call your dream team. The people on your dream team are the 5 people that you want in your life, because they are already where you want to be. They have already excelled into the category that you consider to be successful. And these are the 5 people that you hire to be your dream team if money weren't an issue. I know from experience, as soon as you create that dream team, you identify them. I know that when I wrote that list down, I had no idea that by leveraging LinkedIn, I was welcoming these people into my life. For real, for real. There's only one person on my dream team that I've not met in person yet. There's only one person. And I was about to meet him November 5th for his conference, but I just decided I'm not going to the conference because I'm closing on my land today, and I'll be damned if I go anywhere because I'm about to have my house delivered. I'll see y'all next year.
You about to have your what? You about to have... What'd you say, Tori?
I told her congratulations, and that told Mary and her little lamb.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the kind of excitement we're dealing with over here.
Yes. And every person here is a supernatural seed. You know, God redeems hours, God redeems money, God redeems time. And there are people, places, and things that you will seed into with just your heart, with nothing financial in return. However, the return on investment will be amazing.
Yeah.
Because when you can say, hey, I created $11 million club, and out of 20 people, 5 of them have already hit it. And those 5 are now my executive clients. I'm making sure that I'm leveling them up to whatever is next for them. So, honey, what? Because you know when the water raises one boat, it raises all the boats. And we keep saying, I'm coming for my team. I'm coming for my people. So I work out and make 1 million or make 2 million or make my 11 million. I'm gonna make sure that the people in my team got the investments that they need. So yeah, this is definitely a thing. Because people ask me, why do I show up every day? Why you come here every day? What you come here for? For y'all, for the people. I couldn't even not come if I didn't want to. Oh, ho, 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 ho,
Come on, house. I'm like, you ain't paying attention, girl. You
ho,
supposed to come on,
ho.
house.
Come
Come on,
on.
house.
Come on, house.
Come
And this
on,
is a
house.
container?
This is a shipping container. It's 2 shipping containers.
Stop it. That's amazing. Humans are, I mean, wow, that is beautiful.
Mhm.
So you bought the land and now the house is about to be delivered on the land.
Yep. I got the house, a pool, a garage,
Oh,
rooftop deck
ooh,
on
you
top of the house.
fancy.
Yeah. So I mean, I'm just showing this to you because I'm still somewhat in disbelief. So I had to see it myself multiple times in a day just to make sure this is for real. But I'm also showing this to you because I believe that all of us are a couple of decisions away from a different life. And here's what I beg people, ever since I found out about this and started doing it myself this summer, I encourage all of you to reconsider how you invest in real estate. If you're considering buying a house, like last night, my sister is sending pictures in the group chat about the houses that she's looking at. 2 different states, but the price point of the houses, same price point. They're in the 400,000s. One was 1,600 square feet, and the other was 2,000 something square feet. But for $400,000, what I told her is the same thing I tell everybody. $400,000 for that? Why? If you had the down payment for a $400,000 house, that down payment is how much this house costs, period. So if you're sitting on, like, I'm going to say 100,000 just to keep the math simple. If you're sitting on $100,000, you could have an entire house that you paid cash for, never have a mortgage. Because with $100,000, this house you're looking at, I'm pretty sure when I started, this house was probably 28,000, I think it was. But I added so much stuff, it's no longer that. But still, you could take $40,000, buy the house in cash, take another 40,000, buy a piece of land. You're done. No mortgage. They're setting me up off the grid, so there's no electricity bill, light bill. There's none of that. So you want to talk about wealth in our community and breaking generational curses? Take that cash you got set up, and even if you don't want to pay cash, you put a down payment on a house like this. I saw their down payments. Their down payments are like $2,000. You put $2,000 on a brand new house. If you got the cash, $80,000, $100,000, pay cash for the whole thing and be done with all this mess. You're not dealing with banks. You're not dealing with credit cards and whatnot. Take your money. You could do that same process multiple times all over the country. Y'all, we got to start thinking about wealth differently, because I've had the mortgage, I've had the house. And so I know from experience that having the mortgage and saying you a homeowner is some bullshit. Because you don't own that house if you have a mortgage. I want you to be protected from the experience I had to endure. So I learned from my experiences. The lesson to learn is start paying cash for shit. You got the money in the bank, pay cash and be done with it. Go on with your life. And if you do something like a container home, they'll be done with your home in a matter of 3 weeks. Start to finish, they build the thing in weeks. They come out and deliver it 3 weeks from now, 4 weeks from now, I'll be in there. They're already be done setting everything up. So we're talking about a completely different set of decisions for your life, but these decisions take you to wealth. Having a mortgage does not. Guess who I learned that from? Dr. George C. Frazier. I told y'all last week or 2 weeks ago, if you're not down with Dr. George C. Frazier, you need to start following this cat. I'm telling you, you want to talk to somebody, you want to be in the presence of people who understand Black wealth, you have got to start following Dr. George C. Frazier.
Mm-hmm. Done and done. Tori, your hand up. What you saying, girl?
I'm just in awe. I have kind of the same story. I lost my home to foreclosure as well. So just seeing you be able to come back and say, girl, about this cash, it's just inspiring to me for sure. Because that's one of my biggest things that I feel like I failed as, now I'm over here getting emotional, but I do feel like I kind of failed me and my baby when I lost my home. So just to see somebody on the other side is just definitely truly amazing because I'm not going to nobody's job again either. So I need to make all the money that I can make because I'm not going to punch in on nobody's clock.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I get it. I understand. There's the feeling that you failed when something like that happens. There's an immense amount of shame that comes along with it.
Yes.
And what I encourage all of you to do, even if this hasn't happened in your life, I just encourage you to stop and consider that your circumstances really have nothing to do with your gifts and your genius and your life, your abundance that's right there. You're something like losing everything, right? Will put you in a place where you have no choice but to look around and appreciate everything when you have nothing.
Yeah.
Okay. When you have nothing, that's when your real character is going to show. And I just mentioned a little while ago about how I was working with one of my coaches during the time that I was living in a shelter and she didn't know. And, she still tells me to this day, the reason she didn't know is because I kept showing up every single session with the same attitude.
Yes.
The same level of interest in hitting my goals, the same vigor, the same everything, the same attitude. She said, I didn't know you were in a shelter. I said, you didn't realize that every time you saw me, I was sitting outside? She said, yeah, I noticed. I thought you were just grounding. I said, I was grounding, but I was grounding because I had no choice but to be grounding because the shit was different. When you in a shelter, you can't just come and go as you please. But I found out real quick that if I took my laptop and went out back and just sat out back every day in front of the trees and the birds and all of nature where nobody could see me, I learned that me and my laptop was making deals every single day while I was sitting outside, rain or shine. Me and my laptop, closing deals, making sales, showing up for coaching sessions, all the things, to the point my coach didn't even know my situation. I'm telling you that because I beg all of you, life gets hard, right? For all of us. Life gets hard. Please, though, please do not allow your circumstances to bring you to the point where you show up and you're not yourself. Your character is gone. Your will to move forward is gone. All it can't affect you in that way. So wherever you got to go to get centered, to get spiritually grounded, mentally grounded, physically grounded, whatever it is that you got to do to get yourself out of your head, Because all the bullshit exists in our head. Okay. All the shame that we feel, we let everybody down, right? All that's going on in our head. So do what you have to do to get out of that space, get out of your head, get to a situation where you look around and you can't help but to appreciate everything around you because you know what it's like to have nothing.
Yeah.
Right. And in that space, I'm telling you from experience, that's where your blessings will flow.
Yeah.
You notice how the nasty billionaires in our lives don't ever get blessed with shit. You ever notice that? You ever notice we don't ever see Mark Zuckerberg talking about blessings? Why? Why is that? He can pay for anything he wants. He can buy anything he wants. The little Amazon dude, the little man with the bald head, I call him a little man because he looks like a little man, right? Bezos, yeah, he can buy anything he wants, but you never hear him talking about being blessed. You ever notice that?
Mm-mm.
Yet every single day, I remember being in that shelter every single day, all day, every day. I remember this woman, Teresa, she'd be walking around all day, every day, talking about how blessed she is. How blessed she is. And she would tell you to your face, I need $30 to buy this crack today. Let me get this $30 so I can go buy this crack real quick. She'd tell you that every single day. And I watch her walk to the store, and she would come back every day. And she would have her crack.
You getting outworked by a crackhead?
I'm telling you, it's crackheads. It was plenty of them.
Yeah.
All everybody.
They will outwork you. They will outwork you,
They
outdo you,
outworked. They
outmaneuver
outworked.
you. Like they will
I
not take
learned
no
the
for answer.
game. They
Yeah.
taught me the game. I see these women wake up 6 o'clock in the morning every single morning. By 8 o'clock in the morning, they come back, they pulling out cash. At 8 o'clock in the morning, they just left at 6. They pulling out cash from their pockets. They've only gone 2 hours.
Mm-hmm. They figured out the formula.
It's definitely a formula. And I mean, I watched it unfold, but I watch people who have nothing who constantly tell me how blessed they are.
Yeah. You know, I often tell people if you haven't lost everything at least once, we are not the same.
We are not the same, right?
We're
We are
not
not
the
the same.
same. There's something about um giving away, releasing everything. Like I just was at one of my friends' houses, and when I released the Healing House of Roses here in Georgia, there was a lot of stuff that I wanted to try and keep. And so she allowed me to keep it at her house. And so she told me she's moving out of her house, so I needed to come over there to see, what I wanted to keep or whatever. Let me tell you how she said, well, in anything that you don't want, just let me know. I'm either going to sell it or give it away. And I told her, sell all of it. Do whatever you want to do with it. Because the new healing house will not take any of the old energy to the
Right.
new space.
Exactly.
And the things that's going to go in that house are going to be elevated to the highest level of luxury and beautifulness. So yeah, girl, have at it. Do whatever you want to do with it. The only thing I took out was my tower garden. I have a hydroponic tower garden,
Mm,
and I just took my tower garden, and I had this floor fountain. Just those two things, and that's so I could use them now. That's just for now. So I'm so grateful that I don't have these attachments to things. And it takes some time to get used to um, letting the attachments go because, you know, in everything that I'm reading and everything that I'm doing, one of the things that I learned was that when you hold on to things, that speaks to scarcity. It speaks
yes.
to lack. It
Yep.
speaks to you not you. I'm gonna just hold it for later.
Yeah.
I'm gonna use this later. Like I'm gonna use this later. Like I literally am working on my gown for the gala tomorrow. And I was adding rhinestones to it. And the rhinestone sheet says it's reusable and you can use it again. And I'm thinking to myself, but will I? And I put it in trash. And I was so
Mhm.
happy with myself because I said, even though I could use it later and I could keep it, I didn't.
Mhm.
Because I do believe that God is in the process of, He is showing me everything that I need to do to create all of the finances I will ever need in my entire life for myself and all those around me. So, what do I look like holding on to trash that I
Right.
don't need? Let it go. And even as I'm packing up right now, I gave everything. Queen the Money Magnet, if she came on here right now, I had a huge 20 by something storage unit
Mm.
with my French door refrigerator, my red front loading washer and dryer, the red sofas, the tables, the everything, the glass. And I told her, come get it. And downsize that whole unit. Washer, dryer, all take all of that stuff. Don't leave none of I just want to keep the things that I need. The my books, my equipment, my infrared sauna, my massage tables, like all of my equipment, my ionic foot detox machines, like the stuff that I need to just pull up to the next location and I can start working. So
Mhm.
we not taking stuff. Noreen just said, I'm not taking stuff. I want all new. And a lot of times the energy that's on the old stuff is bad energy,
Right.
bad memories.
Right.
You remember what happened at that table. Somebody said something. Or you remember when you were sitting on that couch, what happened on that couch, or who sat on that couch, or who laid on that couch. Like, I don't want, and Dr. Loretta used to say, don't schlep that old stuff to the
Mhm.
new place. You know, that whole conversation about a new you, trying to put a new you in old wineskins.
Mm.
We can't do that. It gotta be all things new. All things new. So
Dr. Darlene, you taught me something many years ago that stuck with me. Uh, so many of us in our homes have plastic bags that I can't reach it. It's hanging on the door. But we have plastic bags that we keep under the counter. That, you know, we went to the grocery store and got our groceries, but we didn't throw the bags out when we unpacked our groceries, right? We keep them under the counter somewhere, just bags upon bags upon bags.
yes.
And Dr. Darlene, I'll never forget you made it very clear for me. I've been holding on to these bags my whole life. Like Erica Badu bag lady, for real, for
Yes.
real.
Yes.
But Dr. Darlene one day asked me why. And it challenged me to really dig for why. Why do I do that? Why do all of us do that? Because it's not just me, it's every house I walk into. If somebody black, we all got plastic black bags hanging around. Why do we do that? And I had to really dig in my own life and identify the fact that we don't throw these bags out because that mindset that we have is tied directly to lack, right? And having been homeless, I realized I keep these bags, I save these bags because at any given time, I got to pack my shit up fast and be able to walk out with everything that fits in the bag, right? That was a set mindset. That was a thought in my mind based on experiences that went all the way back to being a child. Because when I was a child, my mom and I were homeless from the time I was 2 to the time I was 8. We didn't have a home, but I learned as a child that at any given moment, we got to put things in this suitcase and be ready to bounce. I learned that as a child. So here I'm 52 now. I still got bags downstairs with bags in
Ready
them,
to go.
ready to go. And about once a month, I'm reminded when I see that the pile got large again, I'm reminded, I go back to this conversation with Dr. Darlaina many years ago. And I have to remind myself to actually throw the bags out. Don't need
Throw
them.
the bags out. We can afford to go to the dollar store and get actual bags that we can put on
Bags.
our trash cans. We can
Right,
use for the like
right.
we call ourselves doing that, and it. I mean, think about yourself and how you're going to be when you live in your multi-million-dollar mansion. Are you going to put grocery bags in your bathrooms? Are you gonna put
Right.
these grocery bags around? Are these grocery bags gonna speak to people when they come to your house? Like, she live in this $1 million house. Why she got that?
Mm-hmm.
How you?
Right,
So whatever it is that you are aspiring to, live
right,
it now.
right. And
Live it
throw the
now.
bags out now. Because you said
Yes.
something earlier. I don't want people to miss what you said because this is critical. If you're holding on to the bags now, as a result of our programming is tied to lack, right? But if you got the bags right now that you're still holding on to, you have to throw them out because holding on to them is delaying your blessing. Is
Yeah.
delaying it. Every every single time we have an ounce of doubt or anything other than being open to receiving what's ours is delaying the blessing. So
It's
just
like you
the
don't trust.
act of keeping the bags, like, yeah, what you're
You
gonna
don't.
say,
You don't
you
trust
don't
God
trust the
for
universe,
what you
right?
need.
Right?
Mhm.
Now, I mean, if you're gonna be that bold to say, you know what, universe, I don't trust you here on this matter. I don't. I'm holding on to these bags because next month I know I might need them because maybe the people are going to kick me out, right?
Mhm.
Why would you do that to your creator?
Yes.
Why would you do that? And then turn
In the
around and say that you believe your creator created a divine path for you. The two cannot coexist.
in the artist way, she was, oh my, the thought just jumped out of my head. It was something she said. Oh, she said, if you haven't examined your idea of God since you were a small child, you probably are serving a toxic God.
Isn't
A
that
God
true?
that is not going to give you everything, a God that's only going to give you some of the things, a God that's just not going to just show up for you the way that you need to show up. And so we have to lean back in and say like, oh, this God is going to send me to hell. This God is going, like, what kind of God is this that you are serving? You must review your thoughts about God, and when you do, you'll know that it is a God of surplus and supply.
Right.
Like, who is your source? The bag people that give you, they're not your source. God is. So you could throw the bag out. Because God gonna give you the right kind of bags to go in your stuff, the things that make sense. So that when somebody come in your house, you got the yellow garbage bag or the white one that got the fragrance in it, sitting in your trash bag. Not no bag that's on your can that got the handles on it. Like, what
Right.
is happening? Like, why does
Right.
she have that? Like, and I'm guilty of it too. I know. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna use this for my bathroom trash can, or I'm gonna use it for my office trash can or something. But that speaks to where we are in our minds. We have to
Right.
let these old habits fall away. We got to let them die away. You on your way to $11 million club. And so whatever else that you might be doing that with. My one girlfriend used to rewash uh hefty bags. I'm like, they like $1.25 a box from the dollar store now. Like, why we gotta wash them? Why are we washing out styrofoam plates? Why are we washing that? Like, throw that stuff out. It's disposable for a reason. So there's so many things that we are going to listen. If you have not come here to build your life and to be exposed, to clean all that stuff up so that you can turn around and be all that God has for you to be. When I tell you the artist way, feel like it got a spaded shovel, the spade shovel, digging it straight down in my chest and pulling up the dirt and slinging it out. Because I still got some of that stuff. Like, oh my God, I lost my house. I lost a house twice. My house, my apartment, and all my things, all my stuff. And so I find that even now as I'm working in this process to get, I'm working with thoughts of, suppose you lose it again. I'm working with thoughts of, you probably not really ready yet. You probably not gonna have enough money. You probably, and then I just rebuke it. I'm like, God, no. I know you told me I could have this. You know that and the thing that God said to me was, because like before we learning about these container houses, like that's a whole nother situation. But prior to that, I'm thinking about this house I saw. It was $800,000, and I'm thinking 800,000. What is the mortgage on 800,000? Is it 8,000 a month? Like, what is it? 5,000 a month? How am I going to afford that? Like, I'm saying, and then what God said to me is, you don't have to worry about that because you will have years worth of those payments in your accounts before you walk in, because you will walk in with ease. Because I have walked into places uneasy because I'm thinking, am I going to make enough money? Suppose I lose my job. What's the thing? Like, all of these things come to my mind as I'm in this process, and I'm constantly like, no, no, no. Like, cancel, 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 cancel. God don't show you the vision without the provision. And we really have to lean deeper into the provision and understand that the provision comes from your gift. It comes from you taking your gift, everything that you're good for, everything that you're known for, and putting it in your LinkedIn space. LinkedIn is a piece of it. It's going to bring you the contracts. It's going to bring you the money. It's going to bring you the contracts. When people say, oh, she's a fractional CEO. Like, I had never heard that word before in my life. So, and then we have all these people here with all of the gifts that they have. We are all, I remember this man, his name was Malcolm Avery. He was a part of the Life Changing Alliances group. And he said, everybody in here is like a present under a Christmas tree. We all bring our gifts and we use these gifts with each other. We've all had conversations outside of this space, talking about what you do and how you do it. Listen, Gwen is my sewing teacher, my design guru. Like, I can't wait to show you what I'm doing with this dress, girl, because I didn't get the one I wanted. So I'm working with something that I have, and I'm just upcycling it the way that I want to show up. It got to go with the mohawk when I walk up in here tomorrow. The mohawk is going to be full of all my jewels and things that go on there. I got my gold makeup. I got gold stuff to go. Listen, it's gonna be a whole situation. I stole the show last year, got a free ticket this year because I won Best Dressed last year, and I plan on winning it again this year. Okay, and that's just how I feel. And the girl who does my hair, she said, I am so glad to be working with you. She is a new loctician for me. And you know what she said? Nobody lets me do these styles. She said, you got to have such confidence to wear this style. I said, oh, girl, you just keep coming with them.
I'm loving it.
You listen, I told her, you just keep
I'm
coming
loving
with them.
it.
And I'm going to keep on
It's
walking.
working.
First of all, I'm going to have on 5-inch heels with this high hair. I'm going to walk in like a whole Amazon when I walk in there
I
with
know
this
that's right.
sparkly.
When do you never, girl? Listen,
Honey,
I done
please.
had my hand up. Look. I
Yeah,
gotta jump in here.
go
Say
I
it,
ahead,
done
say
had
baby.
my
Go
it,
hand
ahead.
up.
say it,
Look,
say it,
girl.
say it, say it.
I'm over here, girl. I just like I just want to high five you through the screen, like catch it, good. Get listen. Let me tell you something. I looked at my clothes in this truck the other day, and I said, Bridget, if you don't throw these bags away, I promised to God, I was like, go get some real containers to put your stuff in. Fold it up, make it neat. Throw these bags away. And
Yeah.
for Dr. Tawana to come on here and talk about that lack mindset, I learned that when I got grown. Cause Karen Jean wouldn't do no bag. Now my mama, girl. Oh, I heard Jean in my spirit telling me to throw them bags away. Bridget, what is you doing? My mama would have talked about me so bad, Darlaina. So bad. She was like, first of all, your grandma said bags was for people who was on the run. Like, or she would say, she would, Lord forgive my grandma. She was labeling, but she said, you look like a Mexican running from Mexico. Get that stuff out of bag. Don't get that stuff out of a bag. Put it in something nice.
Yeah.
Like if you remember the our parents would put the smallest, simplest things in the most beautifulest box.
Yes.
I'm talking about that box would be so gorgeous. You'd be like, what's in that box? Oh girl, it's just some Tupperware bowls. What? You you put the Tupperware bowls in a china box? Where you got the box from? I don't want the bowls. I want the box.
Yes.
Like that was the thing, but it's that lack mindset. And when Dr. Ross started talking earlier today, when she was talking about she didn't know that at that time that she was gonna grow like she did from where she was, man, that took me back, Darlaina. Oh my God. Darlaina, you know my story. You know, girl, dealing with a shelter, I definitely learned the game right here in Atlanta, Georgia. Praise God. A family taught me the game, baby, in the shelter. You hear me? Them people got up early in the morning as a family, went downtown Atlanta, and they had a square in downtown Atlanta. Everybody got on a block. They stayed on that block for 2 hours. At the end of them 2 hours, they had enough money to stack into their pile to go toward getting their house. And the girl had nails. She had free daycare from the shelter so she could take the baby to the daycare. And they went out there and hustled every single day. Every single day. Every single day. The bags, like, I want to play Bag Lady by Erica Badu all day. Like,
So bad.
girl,
So
just all day. Put it on repeat. Bag Lady, you gon' hurt your
bad.
back. Dragging out them bags
Like
like
that.
that. Look, stop right there. Girl, look, just stop right there. Look, that's
Yes.
gonna be my status on Facebook.
Yes.
Girl, get all them bags, all them mental bags, all these bags. And you are exactly right. The artist way is got a shovel in our back.
Mm-hmm.
Dr.
Mm-hmm.
Ross got a shovel in our back,
Yes.
telling us to dig up all them thoughts that told you. And oh, this what I want, this what I was screaming about. How about you ain't gonna need no payments because you gonna be paying cash for that stuff. Come on, turn around, cash, paid off, cash, paid. They can't deny you when you walk in the door with the money.
So can't.
Can they tell you no when you walk in the door with the money? How
Nope.
about that's a new declaration we can work on right there? Come
Yeah.
on, cash money, cash money, cash money, cash money. You
Yes.
can't tell me no when I got the money. Money, what they taught us about money, money talking bullshit, walk all out the door. Excuse me, money talk. It don't matter what color you is. Money is green and it talks, baby. And they told us money didn't grow on trees, but yes, it do, because that's what they make money out of, trees. Let's be clear. Let's be clear. Let's be clear in what we tell ourselves every day. Throw the mental bags that we have picked up over life is trying to take them little strings that's in the side and choke the life out of us. I put it in the chat, like, keep hope alive.
Mm-hmm.
Lord, in the name of Jesse Jackson, keep hope alive. Keep hope alive. Keep it alive, because we this is what we breathing on, y'all. We breathing on this. I'm talking about, it's so real. Darlaina, Darlaina, girl. Girl, I'm telling you, the oxygen is coming.
Yes.
The oxygen is coming. It's like, ooh, do you know what it feel like to sit on oxygen when you've been out of breath? It feel like the best air you ever breathe in your life. Like somebody just gave you, ooh, like, oh my God, the oxygen is here.
Remember, I told y'all about the Lisa Nichols book, No Matter What. I remember she talked about victim bags.
Ooh, child.
she talked about unpacking your victim bag. So I opened it up. It took me a few minutes to find it. It says, we pack our Gucci bags full of coulda, shoulda, woulda, and why. Why did this happen? And unconsciously begin to drag them around with us. Then, with every new situation, every new relationship on the job and in our personal lives, we open up those bags and allow all those old issues and past experiences to interrupt our current flow. We can't be carrying bags. We got to empty this stuff out. We cannot take your victim bags to your new life. That's why you got to forgive people. You got to forgive people because if the biggest way to block any manifestation is unforgiveness. And forgiveness doesn't mean that we condone what they said or condone what they did. Forgiveness just means that I'm letting you go to let me go. Forgiveness is very selfish. It is for you. It is to release all of that crap from you. We're not saying we about to kumbaya with you and you about to be in my life, but I'm just saying I'm letting you off the hook for that foul mess you did to me. I'm good with it. I'm all right with it. Because people ask me all the time, how do you forgive your ex-husband for all of that stuff? Listen, I can't be mad at things that happened in my 20s and I'm 60 years old. Grudges hold down the people who hold them. You want to know what your constipation is? Your constipation is holding on to something nasty you need to let go of. These people having these digestive issues and I'm constipated. You better think about who you need to forgive because it's now manifested in your body. And that's a whole nother thing. We got to let Dr. Tawana go do some work, y'all. You know, she didn't already poured it all out. And all of us have too. When you talk about extended programming, this extended programming that we have here in this space, y'all gonna remember because there's gonna come a time where we won't need extended programming. Extended programming will be happening in person. We will be on the beaches of the world together. We will be in each other's homes together. Your container homes, your land, your lake, your penthouse, wherever it is that you find yourself, we will be in each other's company. So it won't be a need for us to be on Zoom for extended programming because extended programming will be happening in real time in person. And that's on Mary Lou Had a Little Lamb for sure. So I'm so grateful for each and every one of you. Does anybody have anything that they want to add before we go? Because we need to skedaddle.
Homework, just as a reminder, you've got 3 things to consider and be exploring. I encourage you to open your Word document so that you can begin capturing those things that you identify about your personal brand. You want that in a Word document somewhere, even if you haven't formed full sentences yet, because that's the next step. So you're identifying traits about your brand right now, but we will take that into the next step, which is to begin writing your actual content. Okay, so it's important for you to do as much capturing as possible in a Word document between this week and next.
I love that. So let me see if I can get Dr. Loretta to do our prayer because we still are decreeing and declaring what it is that we want and desire for our lives. Dr. Long, are you there? I know she's a early morning person like me because sometimes we get a little long-winded, it can happen. So I'm just going, Bridget, can you say our prayer, please?
Sure, I was gonna say you might have to remind her *6 so she can unmute herself.
Oh yeah.
*6 if she don't remember.
Okay.
If you can hear us, Dr. Loretta, *6 is your unlock code.
Yes.
Okay, we checking first before
Yeah,
I. All right, all right, all right, y'all. In the words of Dr. Loretta, I'm blessed going in.
I'm blessed going in.
Baby going in.
I'm blessed coming out.
Baby going out.
I'm blessed in the city.
I'm blessed.
Baby in the city.
I'm blessed in the field.
Blessed in the field.
I am always in the right place at the right time
I'm always in the right place at the right time.
Right time.
with the right people,
With the right
right people.
doing the right thing
Doing the right thing
for the right reason.
For the
for
right
the right
reasons.
reason.
And everything is in divine order.
and
Everything is in divine order.
As Jabez says, bless us indeed,
As Jabez says, favor us and
expand our territory,
expand our
Expand our
territory.
territory.
extend an open hand of favor to us,
Extend an open hand of favor to us.
that we may do no harm.
That we may do no harm.
And we let go and let God.
and we
Go and let God.
And go with the flow
And go with the flow.
and let the blessings and the money roll in
Let
and
the
let
favor and the money
And the money
roll in.
from the north, south, east, and west,
From the north, south, east, and west.
west
from above and beneath,
From above and beneath.
from known and unknown sources.
From known and unknown sources.
Tell us about the money, Darlaina.
We have supernatural unlimited money, so it's supernatural unlimited seeds.
Yes. And we live and give from God's overabundance, meaning we never, ever, 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 ever run out.
Yes.
Ever.
We have money to spend, money to lend, and money to keep.
Yes,
Amen.
that's right.
Because our bank is
Heaven.
heaven. And as Dr. Loretta says, we are the
Right.
branch banks.
Yes.
We are the branch banks.
Yes, yes,
Amen.
amen
Amen.
Amen.
Dr.
Amen.
Loretta's probably taking a nap.
yeah
No, she's
All right.
awake.
Yeah,
She's
she
awake.
awake.
She's calling me.
She just clicked herself out.
Yeah.
Clicked herself out to come back in. Sherry, how's work? Is work going all right? Because we miss your voice because we know you working.
Yes, yes, yes. I'm cleaning up so I can get out of here.
I love it. I love it. Well, thank you everybody for being amazing. Thank you for all of your inputs. Man, Sasha with the that's her AI picture that Tori made. And I just want to be there. She said I need to be someplace where ain't nobody bothering me and I'm just at my peace
Peace.
at the water and I'm just loving looking at this picture. It is just amazing. It is amazing. So I'm grateful for each and every one of you. Please, please, please do your homework because this is all part of it. I'm a person who likes to do things in a hurry. I don't like to do things over weeks in time. Like you got to plan it so you can market it. No, I want to do it tomorrow. Why I can't do it tomorrow? So I am fighting with myself, taking the time to do it over these weeks because once it's done, it's done.
Yeah.
So take your time and lean into it. We're doing a lot. We'll be back tomorrow for our regular class, but also for our Artist Way tomorrow as well. And doing all of those tasks and things. Dr. Tawana, you got to get the Artist Way. It has to be a part of every person's it belongs in the Bible books. You know how it's certain books that are the Bible, like Think and Grow Rich, The Magic of Thinking Big, How to Win Friends and Influence People.
Yeah.
All of those books are Bible books. The Artist Way is now
It's
a
another
Bible
one.
book. It is a book that you will go to multiple times over your lifetime. The book is 30 years old, and I just learned about it. And when I tell you the type of digging in that's happening, I went back to chapter 5 to do the our wishes and all of that. Man, sometimes we press down so much stuff, we forget all of the things that we ever said we wanted. So it is digging and it is getting, yes, digging and good changes. So absolutely, you must have that as a part of your Bible books. So have an amazing rest of your day, everybody. I will see you tomorrow, same time, same station. And I'm a come early so I can fight with the computer a little earlier. So maybe it won't keep me too long. So I'll see you tomorrow, same time, same station. Bye for now.
Peaceful and productive day.